Hey now, it's Sharon and I'm back to share another policing experience with you guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired police officer. I worked for 20 years for a southeastern city in the US, and I was also in the military. I am sharing my policing experiences in hopes of helping others, and also to provide a different perspective, if you will, of some of the situations I've uh, found myself in because of whistleblowing and how it helped me in my faith walk. And so these last 3 weeks, we've been in this vein of pride and talking about how pride uh, is a wall built up in your heart. And we talked about pride causing a hardness in your heart. We also talked about shyness as a form of pride, and how that also helps to build that stronghold. Of course, I have an illustration for you guys. So check this out and we'll come back and talk about what pride doesn't allow you to consider. Check it out. Hey guys, I just wanted to illustrate really quickly. Remember the heart, my heart, and the green was lush and growing and healthy. And then these spots were problem areas, and he showed me the problem areas up close. And he showed me this and me speaking the words and building the stronghold, and my faith was weak. And the very things that I was saying was helping to just keep the wall up. And he showed me that particular area in my heart, and he showed me that stronghold. And you see the dilapidated building, the trees not growing. You see the hardening of the heart because of this wall. And then he even went further and showed me this wall. And that's the wall. Remember that? Pride. There were a lot more things written on the wall, things that I've said about myself. And he showed me how pride was hardening the areas of my heart. This is a hardening. It's spreading. You see what the hardening is doing. The tree is not really growing. The house is dilapidated. And this greenery is his work in me that he's trying to get to grow, but the area of my heart is hardening. And he also showed me that this pride, this wall of pride, does not allow you to even consider what's on the other side of this. So we're going to talk about that and how it looked while I was policing, and how pride got in the way of my view of things. Take a look at the next video. Hey guys, remember this scene where I tried to give you the perspective of me patrolling an area, and here's the neighborhood street, and we see the guy over there walking down the street yelling and stuff, and the kids in the street, and the guy with the lawnmower. I did not consider any of that. What I considered was the public drunkenness I could possibly give as a charge if he is actually drunk, or the kids in the street. That's an automatic walking on the roadway charge. Or the guy with the lawnmower, he's suspicious, and at least I could go check him out. And to consider means to give thought in order to make a decision or form an opinion about. But I did not think about what effects this had on the neighborhood. All I thought about were the numbers. Remember those numbers? Remember those numbers? The weekly stats? And the reason why I did not consider anything else is because my sergeants were getting on me, and they said you weren't producing. That's the word that they use, producing. Some people say quota. We thought of it as keeping our jobs and earning our positions, if you will. And so, yes, we thought of the neighborhood and people in it as numbers. And we didn't consider anything else. But that's something that the video or my perspective, it changed after having blown the whistle and taken a self-reflective look at myself. But yeah, Walters, you see my stats? And it says February 6th to February 12th. That's any given day in any agency. Okay. Hey y'all, I'm back. And remember the scene, the illustration I showed you of me driving on the street and how I saw the neighborhood and the people, and I saw the charges and the stats and the numbers, and how we see people as numbers. I wasn't allowed to consider how it affected the neighborhood on a bigger scale, because if I consider that, then I don't consider myself. I don't consider the fact that I'm making more money on my second job that helps me pay my bills. And it helps the sergeant stay off of me so he doesn't change my days around, thus affect the money that I'm making. I wasn't allowed to consider that, or so I thought. And we take that mindset into planning meetings. We take that mindset into board meetings. Policing, this doesn't just happen in policing, it's happening in boardrooms. The mindset, if you will. So I shared that because of the pride that I found in my own heart. And remember the wall of pride that I showed you and how it was built by my own speaking, my own words. And the wall is so heavy, it's starting to cause a hardness in my heart. And that hardness doesn't allow me to consider. It doesn't. Because again, if I'm numbers driven as a police officer, I got to go out there and get this body to get the sergeant off of me. I am not going to consider how it's affecting the neighborhood. And thus, here's the problem, because criminal justice cannot be an entity unto itself. And that's what we're seeing. It's not including the community. It doesn't include the community, maybe at a certain level, but policing is only going to allow you in a little bit. It's called transparency, actually. And we're not allowing the growth, if you will, of the legal system, the charges, the policies. We're not adjusting those as we grow as a society and community. And the criminal justice system is acting as an entity unto itself. Okay, let me give you an example. 4 of my policing friends and me, and 5 of your policing friends are just standing around. And I say, everybody, empty your pockets, give me all the money, and I count up the money, right? And then I equally share it out to everybody. Who do you think is not going to have a problem with that? The ones that gave maybe a couple of dollars, didn't have any money, they're benefiting from it. And it's the same thing with the criminal justice system. That's the issue that we have to fix. And that's why I'm sharing my own perspectives and the things that I went through with whistleblowing. Because a lot of people will say, there's bad apples, there's bad apples. There's bad apples in just about every agency. When are we going to start looking at the tree? I'll leave it at that. Take a look at our online store. The link is in the description. I created some notebooks for police officers, medical personnel, firefighters, everyday folks, essential workers. I created notebooks. The links are in the description. It takes you directly to the book in Amazon. You don't have to go look for it. And always remember, guys, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. That's why I'm sharing. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.